James Tomlinson bagged 4 wickets as Hampshire fought back brilliantly in their opening LV County Championship match of the summer at the Ageas Bowl, where Sussex are the visitors. Tomlinson began the day with a bat in hand, but was soon run out. Ed Joyce with a direct hit, which prevented Sean Irvine keeping the strike. Irvine was left stranded on 66 as Hampshire were dismissed for 231, and that left Chris Nash and Luke Wells with bags of time to build on their side's first innings lead of 213. Joyce deciding against enforcing the follow-on with nearly 2 full days still left in this match and the pitch beginning to wear. These clinical early boundaries added 24 more runs to that advantage. But the home attack were to have a good morning in which they collected 4 wickets. Tomlinson had Wells on 14, held by James Vince. Next ball, and Michael Yardy was on his way for a golden duck. Tomlinson finding just enough bounce to trouble both batsmen. Joyce had made 14 when he cut this ball from Gareth Burke into the hands of Danny Briggs, who took a stunner. And then Nash was trapped in front by Chris Wood with 21 runs to his name to leave Sussex on 55 for 4 and thankful for their big first innings total. Shortly after lunch the wickets were tumbling again. Craig Kachopa was another to fall to Tomlinson, who was bowling well. And when first innings centurion Ben Brown departed this time for a duck to give Tomlinson his 4th wicket, Liam Dawson with the well-judged catch, Sussex had slumped to 71 for 6. They had been in some bother first time out on 128 for 5 before Luke Wright led the recovery along with Brown. Wright was to prove to be a thorn in Hampshire's side for the second time in the match to ensure that it was his team which remained well on top in spite of that flurry of wickets. Attack was again the name of the game for Wright. His second 50 of the contest was reached off his 71st delivery, an innings which should have batted his side out of sight and made sure that Joyce's decision to bat again was justified. Wright had struck 8 fours in this knock. He's begun the year in fine form. As has Ajmal Shahzad, who has thus far impressed with both bat and ball on his Sussex debut. He made 28 in an important stand of 73. That was brought to a conclusion by Briggs, or rather by an outstanding catch at short leg by Will Smith. His reactions to the sweep shot were extraordinary. 9 more runs had been added when Wright, who'd added 61 to his first innings 96, was another to be expertly caught off Briggs, this time by keeper Adam Wheater. The innings was finished off soon after. Dawson bowled Timal Mills on the slog, while Briggs collected his 7th wicket of the match by firing one in to bowl Steve McGoffin. The spinner took 3 for 27 and Tomlinson 4 for 37 as Sussex were all out for 164. That gave Hampshire 4 sessions to get 378 runs to start their return to the First Division with a victory, and they could not have made a much better start through their vastly experienced opening pair of Jimmy Adams and Michael Carberry, who knocked off 76 of those runs in 17 overs. A misjudgment from Adams, who had 24 runs on the board, saw him return to the pavilion. Mills bowling with pace, the man with the wicket. This is an important season for Carberry. If he can score plenty early on in the summer, then he may still be in with a shout of an international recall. Shots like this will certainly help. That carried the distance, while the opener also struck 2 fours off the next 2 balls from Matthew Hobden to get to a 50 of 63 deliveries. His boundary count at 7 and growing. If he could keep going, then this game could yet be turned on its head. Sussex may have just started to worry a little bit, as Carberry kept putting bat to ball to very good effect. He was timing his shots very well indeed, and as his partnership with Smith gathered pace, the smiles were arriving on the home supporters' faces. Smith played his part in the second wicket stand of 69, which took the total to 145 and the runs required down to 238 with 9 wickets still in hand. But 3 fell late in the day, and that's kept Sussex as the favourites. The big one was that of Carberry, who was superbly snaffled by Joyce on 79 to give Yardy a rare championship wicket these days. Vince then mistimed a shot off Shahzad to offer Joyce another catch at mid-off, and the Sussex skipper would have been feeling a lot happier. Even more so when Shahzad bowled Dawson, who can count himself very unlucky, the ball somehow finding its way onto the stumps, much to the bowler's delight. 3 wickets had fallen for 13 runs, but crucially, Smith and Wheater saw Hampshire through to the close in taking the total to 181 for 4, and that leaves the home team with another 197 runs to find on the last day to cause something of an upset.